Okay, well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm just happy that at least I have less than 10 people coming tonight for my final lecture. Um, Most of you know about our four topics that we have discussed. And I'm glad that somehow I'm almost over with this topic and done with. And but you know that obviously after this we are going to continue our study focusing on health, diet, and also other aspects of our previous lessons. So I'm glad that you're here this evening. My understanding is that many of you have a good grip of what we have studied, and some of you also reiterated about the importance of hot and cold shower, and some of the people that I have with my lecture also who are not here with me talk about vegetarianism and also how to have a lesser stress. And so I'm glad that you guys are keeping up with how to have a good health, so that all of us can benefit from that as well. Okay. We will continue to, I hope that all of us will grow and continue to have knowledge as we pursue higher learning about God and His unending love and desire for us to experience higher understanding of ourselves. Because if we don't understand ourselves, then we won't be able to understand others as well. So we have to gain that information and access that, because there's like I mentioned before, there's a wealth of information that we could get, and that is available to all of us if we are willing and we want to gain that. We need to read more, okay, from the Bible and from the writing of Ellen G. White. So like I said, we have studied already the four foundations. We know that we cannot separate that foundation, health reform, as it is very crucial in our well-being, and also how we can have clear minds and clarity of action whenever we are confronted with challenging issues of our lives. For example, stress. Well, there are a lot of challenges that we experience every day, but many of us also wants to have a stress-free life, but that is very impossible. But there's absolutely another way to manage stress if we are equipped to handle them. I suspect by now you have ways of managing that, right? So if you have any questions, I'd like you to raise your hands, or any clarification, then I'll be glad to address that. Our group, like I said, we will continue to study, and then at the same time we will dig deeper, so that we are not stuck with one particular topic alone, right? It will be an ongoing, even though, say for example, I am not in this course anymore, we still could continue and study that. Now, we know also the origin of the original plan of God when He placed our great grandparents in the Garden of Eden. That was the original plan, to live with God forever. How similarly, because of His love for us, God gave us the power, okay, of choice. Even though He loves us so much, and He knew that there's a possibility of us staying away from Him, He still gave that choice for us. So unfortunately, our four parents, which is Adam and Eve, what did they do? They were given that choice, but they did not did not exercise proper reasoning as to why they should go against God's wonderful plan. And as a result, that grievous mistake, we all now suffer, right? So there's death, and the promise of everlasting life is not possible right now until, of course, he comes back and he will bring us to heaven. So we suffer those consequences. But don't overreact to that, because God has provided an alternative for all of us, which is the plan of redemption. That is a great hope comparing to what we have, a great hope. Now, if we compare what we have, if we compare that to Adam and Eve, what they have experienced in the Garden of Eden, it was very special, right? Because they have fresh fruit, they have grains, nuts, and they are not expected to work like what we do now. But that doesn't mean we will put that as an excuse. And like Jesus intentionally, or he created us, he designed our body to eat healthier food, like I mentioned about the fruit, vegetables, and nuts. So that doesn't mean we are no longer we are not in the Garden of Eden or the original plan. We are not immune to those teachings. We should continue to follow that. And as human beings who are sinners, we know that we can also gain that knowledge by understanding God more, and also our body. I understand that many of you are already in your 70s. This is quite actually this is a little bit of a new group. Half of it are here, half are new to us, right? But you have seen the difference between living now and before. The standard of living, and how we have changed from simple living to that of a high technology. Okay, so it is somehow scary, because the kind of food that we eat now is more unprepared food, and if it's not prepared food, they're pretty much like a genetically modified kind of food. So that is somehow a scary thing. But despite all that, we have good news. We can certainly access health education and gain that information so that we could better ourselves. Okay, say for example the books of Counsels and Diet, Ministry of Healing, and many more books available at our disposal. So in our next meeting, hopefully we could agree on another meeting or future meeting. We can discuss further and learn practical applications. So friends, and parents, aunts, and children, okay, I cannot thank you enough for staying again and giving me extra minutes of your time for attending this evening's meeting. If you have more questions or clarification, we can do that off, how do you call this, behind the camera, so we could confine the 10 minutes maximum of my lecture. So have a good evening, and may God bless you all.